Alright everybody, I guess it's time to do my introduction. So, as always, my name is Zoro. Pretty fresh on YouTube. I've made some funny videos and shit like that. And, yeah. All I'm doing today is getting some seat time. But I figured, as I was doing that, I might as well be useful to you guys, right? So, the topic of discussion for today is a Ducati V2 as my first motorcycle. Now look, I already know all the debates, all the, how should I say, all like the cons, I guess what people are gonna say like back to me. I understand, 955 cc's, not a good idea as your first motorcycle. I completely understand. But guess what? Not everybody is made equally, yeah? Not everybody's made the same, alright? And a lot of you guys don't know, like, what I've done in the past. Yeah, this is my first, like, street bike that I've owned, and I've never owned a motorcycle, but I do have a lot of experience in the dirt, like, world. So, like, dirt bikes, and shit like that. So, I won't share anything about my past or anything like that, because I just don't want to. I feel like it's too personal. But, this is, like, just to clarify, this is my first street bike, and yes, it's a Ducati V2, and yes, I did get a good deal on it, which is why I got it as my first bike. I just couldn't pass it up, alright? Man, that Honda was nice, dude. I think Casey Neistat, or not Casey Neistat, sorry, Van Neistat, Casey's brother. I watch his films a lot, and he had one, I think, in New York. Yeah. But yeah, let's get back to the topic of discussion. A Ducati V2 as my first motorcycle, right? This wasn't my first choice, to be honest with you. I completely got it because it was a great deal, and not because, like, I understand, like I'm not saying I didn't want it or anything like that, but this was not like a part of the plan. I was totally planning on getting like a RS660. I was looking at R7s. I was looking at, what else, R6s. I was also looking at ZX6Rs. All of that. Honda CBR 600, right? But unfortunately, I couldn't find a deal anywhere on any of those bikes, and especially like R6s. Like, that's just like the prices that the used market is asking for is just completely unreasonable, in my opinion. And at the time that I was looking at them, they were going for about 16, 17. I understand, it's a great motorcycle, yada yada, but dude, I'm not paying that much for an R6, okay? So yeah, I didn't, R6 is out of the picture. That's how I eliminated that one. And then I was looking at ZX6Rs, and to be fair, I was scared of the power. Like, to be completely honest with you, I was completely scared of the power that it had and the lack of electronics that it had. I do understand that it has like traction control and ABS and all that, but I needed like, I wanted like some more electronics, some more safety, if you will. And so it was between an RS660 and a completely modded out ZX6R. It was like a 2020, like a year 2020 or whatever, and it was between those two, right? And I was also looking at a CBR 600, right? But then again, I wanted something with electronics on it, but I also didn't want something so slow that I would not be able to like grow into it, you know? Like, I didn't want to get bored. So yeah, it was between an R660 and a ZX6R. I understand completely completely different power ranges. Completely understand completely different motorcycles, but that's what I was looking at. I hit up a few R660 guys, like affiliate guys, and no deal was able to be made. Cause like they were asking way too much. At the time, they were new, by the way. They were not they're not as prominent as they are right now. At the time, the new bike, it was maybe the second year that they were being made. But yeah, really wanted one. I couldn't get a deal. I really wanted cruise control, and it had like the perfect amount of like electronics, so I could like turn it off and turn it back on, however much I wanted to, or however much I pleased. So yeah, it was the perfect bike for me, is what I was saying. And then it's like no deal could happen until I found one guy. Said guy switched up on me at the end. He was like, "Hey, I'm not selling you this bike for like this much. That's way too low." He canceled on me like last minute, so I was like, "Okay, whatever, dude. That's fine. It's your bike at the end of the day, and I can't really force anything onto you." But yeah, so that was out of the picture. And then I kept seeing this exact bike on Facebook Marketplace, like day in, day out, as I was logging in and logging out, right? Like every day I would still see it not being sold. I gave it a shot. I was like, well, what could I lose, you know? If the guy like rejects my offer or whatever, like he rejected my offer. So I cooked up a nice message for said guy, and we were able to work something out. Now, it did come with a few issues that the guy was not completely honest about. I won't lie to you. He was a bit like fishy. He had his like when I showed up, he had his like friend pretty much sell me the bike instead of himself. Like the guy that owned the bike was there. It's just that he just didn't like talk much, you know, which kind of weirded me out. Yeah. But like I was looking at this thing, and it looked like pretty, and it looked nice, and I was just way too excited to focus on the small details. Which, as always, you should focus on the small details. So yeah, I bought this for a great price. That's pretty much the only reason I bought it. And yeah, the ZX6Rs, all those that I just named are great motorcycles to start on. Well, I could make your own decisions, obviously. Don't listen to just what I say. But they're all great motorcycles. I won't lie to you. But yeah, I just didn't get any because they're like out of my price range. And I know it sounds weird that I'm saying like they're out of my price range and I have a Ducati, but at the time, I don't know why the bike market was crazy. It was just like completely like out of whack. And maybe I didn't like text the sellers as nice as I texted this dude. Because with this dude I was pretty nice with it, I will not lie to you. I cooked up some pretty nice messages, you know? So he was able to like let it go for that price. And the dude that I bought it from had just bought another bike, and that was like just the perfect situation. Because when you have another bike and you want to sell your first bike, you kind of just like want to get rid of it, or like there's less resentment of like letting it go, or like less fear of letting it go and not being able to find something that's like as good or better, if that makes sense. So this guy already had like another bike. It was a leader bike, and he was just ready to let this go for that price. He said he wanted it to go to a good home, which it did. My only gripe was that he was not completely honest with me, to be fair. He did let it go for a good price though, so like I'm not complaining or anything, but I'm just it would have been nice to know. But yeah, that's how I ended up with this Ducati V2 as my first bike. Now for like I guess like telling like I know you guys are probably gonna ask questions in the comments, which by the way I will respond to every single one of them as best as I can. But I can promise you, because I am a smaller channel, your comment will probably not go out unanswered, if that makes sense. I'm a smaller channel. I think I only have like 33 subscribers, and I'm very thankful for all 33 of them. But yeah, I know you guys are probably gonna ask like what it's like having a V2 as your first motorcycle, your first street bike. Sorry. By the way, I want to like preface this one more time, just so you guys don't get lost. I have ridden motorcycles before. This is not my first time riding a motorcycle. I have ridden a lot of dirt bikes. I've just never owned a dirt bike, but I have friends that do have dirt bikes, and so therefore I'm pretty good. Or I'm not a beginner, is what I'm trying to say, at riding, you know? So I just want to preface that. I'm not going to let you know about my past and all that shit, because I don't want to. That's just way too personal. But I just want to let you know it's not like a first time being on a motorcycle and a first bike, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, what it's like riding this thing? Gotta be honest, it's pretty fun. Yes, it's a little bit scary, but the electronics on here are absolutely impeccable. I've never felt so not safe. Oh, that's not the right word. But I've never felt as confident as I have ever on a motorcycle as this. All the dirt bikes I've had before, I've never felt that confident because there was nothing to to make sure I was safe in a way. But there's nothing to guess for me while I'm on the road. And this thing guesses for you incredibly well. You turn on for example, I'm in street mode and the electronics are turned down a bit, they're not to the max, right? But you flip this thing in default street mode, it is about this slower than a 600. It's maybe I don't know, maybe imagine if an R6 didn't have the torque down lower. This would be an R6 with lower torque, in street mode, right? And if you want to turn off the electronics or whatever, you can. I mean, it's the perfect bike in terms of electronics because they have street mode, they have sport mode, I think, and then after that it's race mode. And all of it is well proportioned in terms of power of the engine. So for example, street mode is the lowest power and the least amount of torquiness on the throttle, sorry. So for example, no matter how much I break the throttle, it won't go out of hand. It's always a smooth acceleration. And it's a reduced engine power. For example, when you put it in sport mode, it is still the same throttle control where all the acceleration is smooth, but you have more engine power, right? You have I guess you get access to the maximum output of the engine in sport mode while still having the smooth delivery of the throttle, right? Now you put it in race mode and you have you control your own acceleration, everything with the throttle. It's pretty much fully unlocked in terms of engine capabilities, right? And throttle control. And throughout all three modes, right, you can control, you see what it says right there, engine braking, quick shifter, traction control, ABS, wheelie control. All those levels can be put at whatever level you want in any one of the modes. So this bike is absolutely perfect, for me at least. Obviously, for you, do your own research. Don't cook yourself, you know? It's just a motorcycle at the end of the day, and it's your first motorcycle, and it's not going to be your last one, hopefully. So, just don't cook yourself. Buy something that's good for you, not good for somebody else. And it's okay, you don't need a leader bike, I promise you, unless you live in Texas or something like that where it's wide open. You know? Maybe you might want a 750, a Dixon 750 or something like that. I can see why, but I promise you, you don't need a leader bike. Yeah. A lot of people consider this, or not consider it, but because it says 955, they think it's a leader bike. I promise you, this is not a leader bike. It is way underpowered compared to a leader bike. It has 150 wheel horsepower, not wheel horsepower, sorry. Not 150 wheel horsepower. 150 horsepower straight from the engine. So obviously some of it is lost when it gets to the drivetrain, but you know, it's still 150 horsepower. So for me, I thought it was good because I could stick it in street mode and chill out. Like as I'm riding right now, I'm just chilling out, street mode, you know. Once I get on the highway or whatever, or like maybe if I'm messing around with my friends on the highway, I might put it in race mode. Who knows, right? But most of the time, I'm talking like 90% of the time, it's in street mode. I've only put it in race mode to like practice like wheelies or like getting like the front wheel up. Which, by the way, if you're thinking about like getting this bike as like a, I don't know, like your all-rounder, anything like that, it does not like to wheelie. I'm just letting you know. The electronics are way too constrictive, if that makes sense. It just doesn't like being messed around with. So if you're gonna wheelie and stuff like that, make sure you turn off all electronics. And like, you're gonna be freeballing it pretty much. You have no safety if you're gonna wheelie. Yeah. That's pretty much my review of it. But I'm gonna say take this with a grain of salt. Do not. I'm not a licensed professional. I'm not anything. I'm just a dude, not a motorcycle. Yeah. But if you're gonna buy a motorcycle as your first one, and you're transitioning from the dirt to the street, and you actually are responsible, and you actually respect yourself a bit, and not like a hooligan, this might be like a proper choice for you. Like, I don't know. Obviously, if you're a hooligan, if you're like irresponsible, if you're like always like ripping the throttle to the max, and if you don't know how to chill, and you don't know how to take your time, then obviously you're gonna get yourself in trouble with this. Maybe get something lower CCs. But I think if you had a background in the dirt before, and I'm talking like an extensive background, yeah, don't like, you rode a dirt bike for like 2 weeks and now you're ready for this shit. You're not, okay? Don't do that. But I'm saying you've rode like since you were a kid, maybe, then this would be like a nice entry into the sport bike scene. That way you're not too restricted. The way like you're gonna like feel bored like after like riding like whatever 300 you want to get. You're not gonna feel bored because this is like, it's like once you unlock it all the way, like you put it in race mode, like you're gonna be like pretty satisfied. I feel like. Yeah. So that's pretty much my review of it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see what I did to it, or like my build, I guess, click on the next video. And yeah. God damn, these boys are ripping it. That was a goal, dude. But yeah. That was my review, guys. And next video, I'll be doing like a build, I guess. Like this carbon fiber and shit like that. I'll be explaining like what I did to the bike. After I got it, if that makes sense. Yeah, tune in for next one. Watch my previous videos. Also, again, if you have a question, put it down in the comments. I'll probably answer it. 99% sure I will answer it because I have 0 no subscribers, dude. Actually, no, I have 33, and I'm very thankful for my 33 subscribers. As always, love you guys. Ride safe. It's just not worth it. It's just a motorcycle at the end of the day. I understand there's enjoyment, but yeah, thank you so much for watching.